Welcome to Modern Musings, conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone, where we look at ourselves and the world through the lens of the 21st century. Hey guys, welcome back. Kristen here with Modern Musings, and my co-host Cindy and
Hello.
Amber.
Hey.
Conversations with the maiden, mother, and crone. Thanks again for coming back to listen to us again in our musings. Last week we had let you know that we were going to be talking about oracle cards, and we wanted to bring this wonderful tool to the table and kind of discuss with everybody. So today, we'll be just kind of lightly discussing oracle cards, our experiences with oracle cards, what they are, pros and cons, what have you. I did want to start up by just kind of introducing what an oracle card is. If you're familiar with a tarot card, some people use them for divination or introspective
soul searching.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different uses.
Yeah, lots of different uses. And tarot cards are the most common ones that people are familiar with because of mainstream media. And just the word tarot kind of encompasses oracle cards. They kind of fall into that same category. Some people who read tarot probably also read oracle cards. There may be people who only like oracle cards and not necessarily tarot cards. So tarot cards are going to be your traditional card decks that generally come in a 78 card deck. That's the traditional, like most people are familiar with Rider-Waite. That's the one that we most typically use. But oracle decks can include a number of cards. You can have smaller decks, larger decks. There's no rules with oracle cards.
And they're usually themed.
Yeah. And that's the really neat thing about oracle cards is the varying themes and the personalization that you can find with them. They don't necessarily have things like major arcana or the suits like a traditional tarot deck has, but they do have some type of themes on to which each card has its own meaning. And so that's kind of what I thought would be fun to kind of talk about the different oracle card decks that we have personally, which ones we really like, and how you might go about using them in your day-to-day life. So I know that you, Mom, have been really enjoying your oracle deck, so I thought you might want to kick it off by kind of telling us about your deck that you love.
I think we've discussed this before. I'm pretty new to tarot reading and things like that, but I've had friends who've read tarot for many, many years, and I've always liked to go visit the tarot reader at the carnivals and things like that. I really find them very interesting. I have a friend who she prefers oracle decks, and when I first bought my tarot cards, I really had not set out to buy an oracle deck, but I actually bought my cards on Amazon.com, and my eye caught this deck, and I just thought that the deck was so beautiful that I wanted to buy it just because it was pretty. And I actually, in a lot of ways, like it better than my tarot cards. I use both of them every day. I think I've mentioned in a previous blog post or one of our excuse me while I read my tarots. I think I've mentioned that I do a single card reading every day, one from each deck. So I use the traditional Rider-Waite deck, and then I use it's called Work Your Light Oracle cards. And this is I'm not sure how many, this is a 44 card deck. See, I don't even know. I haven't even had it for a whole year, but the pictures on it were so beautiful. It's kind of pastel teal, purple, rosy pink, and the pictures are these beautiful female models dressed in flowing gowns and posed or superimposed over surreal landscapes, like otherworldly um, scenes in that, they look like they're on a different planet with different
Kind of
stars.
Salvador Dali, but very feminine looking.
Sort of, and they're just very beautiful. And like I said, I saw them and I just loved them so much. They were so pretty. And I've really enjoyed these cards. And they have the Oracle decks have different card meanings, depending on the deck. So these are all themed as a light worker. So that our purpose here on the earth is to bring light into the world and to do positive things. And so all of these cards are kind of about finding that light essence within yourself and how to express that in the world. And so there's lots of different kind of cards. One of them is the Get Grounded card. So and it, when you read the little booklet that comes with it that explains the card, it talks about your need to get grounded and to ground yourself in nature, because you need to replenish your bodies and your mental energies and things. And one of the cards is a yes card. I mean, the name of the card is yes. And it says, and the subcaption says, just say yes. And when you read the book, the book just says yes, 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 over 2 pages. It's, so whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're going towards or working towards, or whatever your question was, that's your answer, there's other ones. There's some that are similar to the Rider-Waite deck. There's one called the Crumbling, and it looks like a tower, and it's got the lightning and all that, and it's talking about clinging on to things that you need to let go. It needs to crumble and fall away so that you can build something new and better. There's other kinds in there also. I just really like this one because it has Mary in there. This one calls on a lot of religious and spiritual things. So there's Anna, the grandmother of Jesus. There are the Council of Light, which is the Ascended Masters, which includes Jesus and Mary and
Buddha.
Moses and things like Buddha and things like that. And so there's a lot of there's one called the Warrior Woman, which is obviously an allusion to
like Wonder
Florence Nightingale.
Oh, that kind of
not
woman.
Florence Nightingale.
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
I'm like,
Joan
who
of Arc?
is it? Who is it?
It
but
like
yeah, she's
little...
Wonder Woman, Joan of Arc, something like that, because she's got a sword and she's holding it. But all the pictures on this are really beautiful, and you can see some of these on my blog. I'm gonna post a little bit about these on my blog. I wanted to talk about also. There's other kinds of oracle cards or oracle decks. I was talking to a friend of mine recently about oracle decks, and I was referencing these, and she pulled out a little baggie, and they're hers are more like little tiles, kind of like runes, and each one has a word on it, just a word, and she pulls those every day, and they are called no, I think hers are called an angel, or it could be oracle, I'm not sure, but either way it's the same
angel deck.
It could be an angel deck, it's an oracle deck, But it's the same
It's a
concept, but her,
divination tool.
yeah, and it's just a little card or a little tile that has that word for her day. Think about this word. And I thought those were cool. The friend who actually um, talked about oracle cards before I got into them, that's entirely what she does is oracle cards, and she has um, cards that are about animals. So it's which one is your spirit animal.
I have a deck like that, a
She's
spirit
got a
guide
lot of different
deck.
ones like that,
Each
and
deck, each card on the spirit guide animal is like this one is actually like Celtic. So it's kind of like traditional folklore, and each card represents an animal and the characteristic traits
of that
of
animal. Yeah,
that animal.
that's kind of what hers is like. It's hers are North American animals.
Mm-hmm.
So she has, like things like the buck or the owl, the wise owl or whatever. But I don't think they're all North American animals, but they are more traditional animals. And she, like I said, she uses a lot of different kinds, and they're all really fascinating. I keep being tempted to get more oracle decks because I think that would be just another way to explore that part, because it's going to give me different information every morning. But I just can't quit looking at the pictures on these, and I really love these cards. So, and I pull these, and I sometimes get the same cards over and over and over again, but it's still a reminder that my work is not finished with whatever it was I was working on. So, I was trying to think. I was going to pull out my book here and look at some of the things that I pulled up, like Star Seed, and it's talking about answering the call and following your calling and calling. Wow. Answering the call and following your calling, but also there's things like don't dim your light, don't dim to fit in. That's a very common theme in this deck. And then there's also a card called Soul Family, with the theme of calling in your tribe, finding people who are like-minded, and don't dim your light. Let your voice speak. Share yourself with other people, and that theme runs through a lot of these cards too. And that's one of the things that led me to want to be part of this podcast, because I feel like sharing my voice is part of that, and that's one of the things that my oracle cards have prompted me to do over the course of this past year, or the past year. And so that's where, I think they've helped me a
They've
lot.
inspired you. Yeah.
They've inspired me quite a bit.
Your deck actually inspired me. I had my animal oracle deck, and then I have a galaxy deck, and I don't have them on me today, so I can't speak a lot about who created them or anything. But I was using those. I really enjoyed those, but I loved the artwork on yours. But I didn't want the exact same deck as you. I feel like the Oracle deck is like very personal in a way that there's
Absolutely.
so many of them out there, and they have so many different themes. Like if you love cats, they have a cat lady one, and they have one for crafty people or people who love famous artists.
And before I bought mine, and that was one of the things I had kind of done some research, and I said, how do you pick an oracle deck? And it said, the answer to that was go for the one that calls to you. It will call to you.
Yeah.
And that's what this one did, the one that I bought.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, it was just so profoundly beautiful that I felt compelled to buy it just
Yeah.
because of the way it looked.
For me, yours, the messages that it portrayed, I mean, they looked beautiful too, but I was really struck by the work your light theme on that one.
Yes.
So I went and looked for one that was similar. I wanted something very similar but different because I want to be different. So I actually picked up one called The Secret Language of Light. And it says transmissions from your soul. And I love how this one um, gives you like this feeling like it's your soul telling you that this is what it wants
Yeah.
or needs. And also very beautiful imagery. I
They
can
are,
say
these
that
are very pretty.
they do not miss out on the beauty, the artwork on oracle cards. The symbolism, the imagery of the card is what it is. I mean, there is a book that gives you the explanation for each card, but really the images on each card, they are an individual box of artwork. This one in particular is 45 cards, and they're all numbered, and they all have similar themes, like let your light shine, you are the universe, authentic truth, visualize, inward revolution, soul journey. And I just like sometimes just picking them up and looking at the images on them and going, oh, that one's really pretty, I want to read what this one's about today. Sometimes I just like shuffling through them. They are gorgeous. And I searched and searched online too because there's so many to choose from. I have like a whole laundry list of them that I want to buy, um, on my wish list because there's just so many I want to play with, and there's a lot of different authors out there who create them. So when you think about oracle cards, they're like authors. There's an author who writes the card, and then there's the cards in the book. And there's also like an artist, generally, two separate people typically who collaborate on the card. Amber, you have a really interesting deck right there that I can't wait for you to talk about. I've been watching you
hear more about
hold
that
your
one.
cards.
Yeah, this is actually one that I've bought within the last year because before that I didn't really own one. And I saw this one on Amazon as well during my browsing, and it is the Literary Witches Oracle deck. Now, and that doesn't necessarily that these authors are that they are talking about are witches, but it is wisdom from women of literature. That's basically the idea behind the deck. And you can, when you draw a card, you would either pick one, after you shuffle, of course, you would either pick a famous author, woman in literature. Maybe she had some ideals that were out of the box, like Mary Shelley, or the Bronte sisters, or Toni Morrison. And each card has the wisdom of the author that it's talking about. For example, I just drew the card Emily Bronte, and that means fantasy, dwelling, indulging, hiding in fantasy. So whatever question you ask the card, your answer might be that you are overindulging in your life and that you need to hold some things back. You need to slow down, as it were.
Or get your head out of the clouds.
Yeah,
Right,
get your head out of the clouds. Now, there are also other cards in here as well, and they are sort of talismans or that authors use in their writings. For example, you could draw a black cat or a chicken, a cauldron, books, apples. And so if you drew a talisman card, it also has a meaning. For example, if you draw the card that says dolls, that means that you have old wounds from the past that you are still thinking about that you need to get over.
Are the talismans like tied to the authors, specific authors? Or?
No, they're not tied to the specific author.
They're kind of like literary, like symbolism.
Yeah, literary symbolism. So,
like the apple.
So the author cards represent emotions.
Okay.
And then the talisman cards represent things that you are looking for or thinking about. For example, if you draw the eye card, that means that you are seeking answers to something, or you are finally seeing something clearly.
That's cool. That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And I really enjoy this deck. It is one of my favorite ones, and the artwork is really great. I love all of the drawings of the authors, since I love reading and I love all of these authors. They have some really great artwork.
English teacher, you know.
Nerd.
Yeah. I also have, and I know we're not talking about tarot decks, but I also have the Jane Austen tarot deck. Just saying.
And that's what we were talking about, how they're very themed, and you know, if whatever your theme is, whatever your passion is or your interests are, there's usually a tarot deck out there. And we will link these tarot decks on the blog somewhere. I'm not sure where, but we will put links to those on Amazon if you're interested in looking at those.
Yeah.
And there's actually a really great book on literary witches. And like I said, I'm not talking about actual witches. I'm talking about female authors that have at one point in time been called a witch for their ideas.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a great book that I will link as well to my blog.
I want to read that. That would be fascinating.
I love reading about those bad girls that
I know.
Yeah, bad girls of literature, yes.
Wrecking the world one thought at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to play a game with you guys.
Okay.
So this is find an oracle deck for me. Okay? Think of something random, weird theme like birds, right? And we're going to look and see if there's an oracle deck. You can do it on your phone, too. Oh, you want me
to do it on my phone or my computer?
So get your phone. You guys can do it at home, too, if you're not, driving and listening to your podcast or whatever. Play this game.
Okay.
Because I'm going to see if we can't find...
So you just think of something
we'll each
random?
pick a word. We'll each pick a word. And then challenge each other to find an oracle deck that relates to that. Okay. So, I am going to do... I challenge you to look up clown oracle cards.
Oh, ew. I bet there are.
Yeah.
Let me see.
We have a little bit of slow.
Yeah, the internet's a little
slow right internet. Well, it pulls a bunch of them up, but I am not. I am not finding clowns yet.
Oh, I found one. Oh my gosh, here you go. Oh, it's cute though. Oh, the images are always great. You would think it would be creepy and scary.
I found one on a clown tarot cards.
Here's one. Divine Circus Oracle. Clown of Crossroads is the card. And it's very like Harlequin or what are those clowns like Mardi Gras looking.
Oh, okay.
Kind of clown, but there you go. Divine Circus Oracle.
Oh, I found one. Okay, yeah, Cirque du Oracle.
Ooh.
Damn. Sorry. I'm really bad. And then I'm finding some really cool ones, though.
I know. I found a bunch in between that weren't...
Here's another one. There's Circus Oracle cards.
New Orleans Oracle deck. I bet that one's really pretty. And a lot of times, some of them have like the same artist too for multiple decks.
I'm wondering if I spelled something wrong.
I found
Maybe I
one
need to go
called
back.
Music Oracles, and it has a bunch of famous musicians like David Bowie and
I saw that one the other day. That was
Michael
interesting.
Jackson. All right, no more clown ones. Can't find one.
I never found a single one.
All right,
I found some really cool ones here, though.
Okay, now you gotta pick one.
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Pick a random word.
Coffee.
Ooh.
That would be a cool deck, wouldn't it?
It's right up my alley.
Let's see. Aha, here we go. The Coffee Oracle. That might just be the author, though.
Oh, I think that's a paperback book. I just saw that one too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh! I did find it playing cards.
Ooh.
There we go. Now you know what to get me for Christmas.
Yikey.
No, I'm just kidding. There's a coffee tarot deck.
Because you can tell tarot with playing cards. Because
you can.
Originally,
my Jane
tarot
Austen
cards,
deck is playing cards.
Well, tarot originated as a game. That's why there are suits. And it was an actual card game. And then somewhere in the 1800s, people started
using them for divination.
For divination, yes.
Well, you stumped me because I haven't found a coffee oracle deck, and I'm wondering where is this because I need it in my life.
I know. Think about it. Maybe we need.
I found it.
You did?
Coffee cards, 1796 fortune telling oracle, brand new by Aquarius Wellbeing. No, on Etsy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was just thinking when I thought of that, I thought of all the different kinds of coffee drinks or different.
Oh, like you could have the whole Starbucks menu on oracle cards. Oh, I know someone who would love that.
You too.
You too.
And see, by coming up with this card deck, having everyone would give you something to think about each day. Yes.
How fun. All right, Amber, your turn.
Okay, let's look for trying to think of something that wouldn't be too obvious. Let's see if they have an oracle deck about This is hard.
That's why I grabbed coffee, because I couldn't think of anything.
Let's see if they have an oracle deck about fruit.
Ooh, fruit. That would be a good one. It's a book. Never mind. I thought I found one.
Here's a plant one. The Food Healing Oracle deck.
There you go.
You're right there.
Lots of one on botany and herbiary and...
I did find a bag, though. Large citrus squeezy drawstring bag for tarot deck, oracle cards, dice bag. There we go.
That's funny. I found bicycle unicorn playing cards. Not the same thing, but
oh well, there is a metaphysical cannabis oracle deck.
Oh, there you go.
I know somebody that wants that.
All right. Well, that was fun. That was a fun game. I challenge you. Oh, I just found one called Food Fortunes card deck.
I found
And then
just
I
a
found
girl who
the
loves
food
strawberries.
healing. Is that the one you just said, Amber? The food healing oracle?
Yeah, I saw that one, yeah.
Just a girl who loves strawberries. Summer strawberry fruit meme. Family tarot cards.
Huh. How fun.
Oh, it's a journal. Never mind. Sorry.
All right. Well, I challenge you guys to go out there and find something, some little niche or quirky thing that you like, and see if there's an oracle card deck out there for you.
So many crazy things. So many crazy things.
If you're not sure what to look at, another great place to go to is your local gems and crystal store, metaphysical store. Bookstores usually have a little section where you can get them if you're interested.
Barnes and Noble also, yes.
Half price books.
Yep.
Books A Million.
So check them out. They're fun. They don't have to be religious or spiritual in any way. They can be purely fun and insightful.
Or if you are a religious person, there are angel decks where they take the known angels and make cards out of those too. So don't feel like oracle decks are anti-religious or anything like that, because they very much can be whatever you decide that they are to you.
Exactly. They are what you want them to be.
So thanks for listening today. We need to thank Red Door Studios, Creative Audio Tech, and Rimshot Graphics for all their help with our music, artwork, and equipment. And next week we have... is that me again?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it is. What is it?
We have a special one where we're discussing your theme. We have a theme.
We actually have a theme. And I'm not sure exactly where this one is going to go. It's based on a writing, an essay that I wrote, maybe a year or two ago, as part of my Just Right course with Allie Edwards. So the story is based on cups, and you might wonder why we're talking about cups. So you'll have to come back next week and listen to see why and where we go with it, because even we don't know.
No, it's a mystery to us as of right now.
Right?
Absolute mystery. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. We're so glad you came back. Please come back again, and we'll be here next week.
Follow us on social media,
Instagram, Facebook.
And if you read oracle cards, send us a picture of your oracle cards.
Yeah, continue the conversation over on our Facebook.
Yeah, and definitely make sure to stop by our blog, because our podcast is just a small little piece of the whole chapter.
Yeah, Modern Musings is a whole package, and you can find us at modernmusings.net and join the conversation. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.